Hey Maicurlies! Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. And before I get into the crux of this video, in case you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are informed every time I put up a new video. And this one is going to be all about DIYs for the hair, and as the name says, it is going to be about a hair clay treatment. So the product that I'm talking about, or the ingredient that I'm talking about, is Ghassoul Clay. It is called Ghassoul Clay, but it's also known as Rhassoul Clay, and this is a 2-in-1. If you are familiar with my channel or you watch my videos before, you know I'm all about that 2-in-1 life. Especially when it comes to Ayurvedic herbs. I am crazy about Ayurvedic herbs for my skin and my hair, and this clay happens to be one of those 2-in-1s. So in this video, I'm just going to be focusing on the hair. I will have another video up on a treatment for the skin. This is a clay mask or a clay treatment, but the consistency that I like using is a slightly waterish, a slightly more runny consistency. If you happen to like to apply products that are more thick, especially when you're using Ayurvedic herbs, if you like a thicker, more paste-like texture for it, that is fine. There is no issue. It works exactly the same way. The main reason why I like to use it in this form is because it's easier for me to apply onto my hair when it's slightly more runny, and it's also easier for me to rinse out once I'm done. I do want to mention, aside from that, is it can be a little messy when it comes to applying this on your hair, so please keep that in mind. You know, you might have, especially if you're using it and it's slightly more water-based, you might have the clay sort of splashed in your shower. I do recommend that you apply this while you're in the shower. If you're using the paste, it might not, you know, sort of get everywhere as much as it does when it's runny, but it is something that can get a little messy. Now, in terms of why I use this, it is an amazing detoxifying product or mix. It helps to cleanse the scalp, it helps to cleanse your hair, it removes impurities, it removes muck, grime, all that product buildup, whilst not stripping your hair. So it still is conditioning your hair as it is cleansing it. It also helps with clumping my curls. It gives real sort of bounce back to my curls, so when my hair is feeling like or looking like it doesn't, you know, normally do, I know it's time to apply this, and my curls just, you know, they bounce right back. So that is, you know, the main reason why I enjoy using it. Alright, my curlies, so enough of my rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye. So this is the container of my Ghassoul or Rhassoul clay. And the clay actually comes in a bag like this with all the powder in it. And I use about 1/3 of a cup, which is roughly 2.6 ounces of clay. I use a container where I mix everything directly, and I put a funnel just to make sure that the powder goes in without making too much of a mess. It just makes it easier to pour the powder in. Now, in terms of liquid, I use 6 ounces of plain water, and I use bottled water because I have hard water in the taps. I also use 0.6 ounces of apple cider vinegar. Now, you don't have to use 6 ounces of plain water. You can do half and half, so 3 ounces plain water and 3 ounces rose water, or you could do 3 ounces plain water, 3 ounces aloe vera juice, or any other liquid that your hair likes. I just happen to use plain water for me, and apple cider vinegar as well. And then I use some almond oil, and I use about 0.2 ounces, which is a tablespoon. And that's the same as the container behind, or the bottle behind. I also use 2 capsules of vitamin E oil. And then I use some vegetable glycerin. It's a humectant. Not all hair likes glycerin, but mine does. So I use, again, 0.2 ounces, which is 1 tablespoon of vegetable glycerin. It's optional. And then the last ingredient I use is essential oil, and I love peppermint essential oil, so that's what I'm going to be using. I use 5 drops of it. Essential oil also is optional. You don't have to stick to peppermint. I just enjoy the tingling effect of peppermint. So here I'm just pouring in these 6 ounces of water directly into the container. Like I said, I mix everything direct in there. Now once you add, if you're using apple cider vinegar, you will see that it sort of activates the clay, and you can tell because there's foam rising at the top. You'll see it hopefully sort of rise to the top of the container. And it does the same if you use aloe vera juice as well. And then I add the tablespoon, which is 0.2 ounces of glycerin, 1 tablespoon of almond oil, which is 0.2 ounces, and then the 5 drops of peppermint essential oil, and the 2 capsules of vitamin E oil. Put the lid on and make sure everything is really well mixed. Check that the bottom doesn't have any dry clay. And that's basically it.